what's up guys, Benny here, and welcome to today's Call of Duty Warzone video, which I am incredibly excited about because I'm going to be taking you through everything that we've learned about Warzone since the release of Modern Warfare 3, and there has been an absolute ton. So if you are new around here, please take a second, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything to do with the new Warzone, which is dropping at the start of December with Season 1. And I kind of want to start off talking about Urzikstan, which, if you didn't already know, is the brand new Battle Royale map, which is actually the gameplay that you're watching. This is the Battle Royale version of the map because, of course, with Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, we have had a version of Urzikstan, which is one of the reasons so many secrets have started being uncovered about this map. But this is a Battle Royale version, which, if you have a look at it, as we're flying across the metropolis, is one of the most gorgeous Battle Royale maps we've ever had in Warzone. And if you throw yourself way back to when Rebirth Island first got that makeover in the original Warzone, it reminds me a lot about that. It became very vibrant, very poppy. Like, the skies are like kind of gorgeous blue. Everything just really pops and it's nice to look at, but it also has a lot of design intention behind it because it makes it incredibly easy to spot opponents, make visibility clear, and just an all-round great Battle Royale experience. And if you've been playing Urzikstan with Modern Warfare Zombies, you'll notice that with the light box that they've gone for, it's kind of designed to create more of a kind of gloomy atmosphere and that kind of like zombie vibe, while this is all about giving you the best Battle Royale experience. Whenever you're inside of buildings, I found that, I don't know if you think this as well, but one of the biggest frustrations I have ever had with Warzone is when there is a character skin like the original Rose skin or Groot most recently, where there is a dark corner and they are just impossible to see. And from my experience of playing this when we went to Call of Duty Next, the visibility around Urzikstan is just so nice. I don't think we're gonna get the same level of frustration that we've had of going like, I could not see that guy in the corner, like he is not there on my screen. But that, like, this is like a darker room, but you can still see the corners are quite bright and vibrant, even though like the shadows are detailed as I kill out the Juggernaut. And it's a good thing just mentioning about the map as well. Strongholds are still in the game, so when you hop into a map of Battle Royale, you're going to be able to kind of do that stronghold start to get your loadout nice and quickly, but of course you're going to probably run into a gunfight right off the rip. The black site's still there, and they still had bots within the black site. It wasn't just the Juggernaut, and I kind of expect that to change with the release of the full version of the game, because being removed in the main version, I don't think anyone wants bots within black sites. It's like, fair enough, kill the Juggernaut. The bots for me are just kind of frustrating, and I've always thought that with the current version of Warzone as well. Get rid of the bots. It can sometimes cause the map to crash. We don't want that. But with Urzikstan, first things first, there are 11 POIs across the map. Those 11 resort pop-off power, which you might have experienced if you played Ground War already in multiplayer. You've got all of military base, which also includes Countdown. Now, I'm going to get onto secret POIs in just a second because there are a ton within Urzikstan that have been discovered during like the hands-on with Modern Warfare Zombies, and there's a few other like kind of secrets that have been discovered. You've got Seaport District, which includes Seatown, which is one of my favorite Modern Warfare 3 maps. I dropped so many Moabs on that map, distinctively remembering getting like a triple Moab with the MP7 on there and like a double Moab with a Scar, which took me absolutely forever. You've then got Urzikstan Cargo, you've got Old Town, you've got Low Town, which actually has Favela from Modern Warfare 2 in there, or now also Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. You've got Hadika Farms, you've got Zaravan City, Zaravan Suburbs, and then Shahin Manor. Throughout the map, you have a ton of classic Call of Duty maps, and just to name a few, you've obviously got Countdown, you've got Seatown, you have Sub Base, you've even got Hard Hat, which I think is one of the absolute classic Call of Duty maps that doesn't seem to get anywhere near enough love as it should do, because it's just a great map. I personally love the kind of attention to detail that Raven have gone into with this map, because when I got to talk to Ted as part of our Xbox interviews at Call of Duty Next, they are aware that we all want a faster experience, and that is why movement has been tuned up and that kind of like general gunfight. But just to do with the map, being able to navigate around the map in numerous ways is also really important. When you kind of talk about your movement options, you of course have your vehicles, so you've got like your cars, your trucks, your ATVs, your quad bikes. All of that stuff is still included within this version of Warzone, and you'll see me use them throughout this gameplay. But you also have cranes. Cranes are dotted out throughout the map, especially around like Zaravan City, and like kind of pop-up power, but those all have like an ascender within the crane. You can go up that and then use that ascender to like traverse yourself distances, because unlike Caldera or even more recently Al Mazrah, there isn't a single point on the map that has like height superiority over everywhere else. Like if you've been playing Al Mazrah, you'll know you go to Observatory to jump off there, and you can pretty much get to almost every other part of the map just from jumping off the top of that hill. In Caldera, you of course had a peak in the middle of the map, and that would help you kind of navigate and rotate around. That's not in Urzikstan. So they've provided all these different options. Cranes are one, ascenders. You also have zip lines, not just going up buildings as like an ascender, but you also have them going horizontally. So if there's like a big open area, which if you just had to run across, you'd be screwed by another team holding you in. And I think that's another part as I'm kind of starting to roam around this map. You can see the density of the map and how many different routes you have in order to kind of cross between different POIs. Because you've of course got those major POIs, but you also have loads of smaller POIs around, from like warehouses to things like Hard Hat, like I mentioned earlier. But the density of routes that you have to be able to kind of pull up on opposing teams that are holding up, or kind of like work your way into the circle. If you watch World Series of Warzone, or if you played in it, one of the most frustrating things was just knowing when a bad circle happens and you have to cross an open bit of area, you're out of the game. And there's pretty much nothing that you could have done about it, because you're like, well, it's pulled that way, I have to run across an open field. And when you're up against top players, they're not going to miss you running across an open field. They'll snake a head glitch, wait until the opportune moment, and take you out. Urzikstan has built upon that, and I think it's taken the best of Verdansk because of that. There's always a route that you can use to kind of break away from an opponent, or like kind of close the gap if you're trying to get up close, especially the range of weapons that we have. And I personally am so excited. You'll see this like right there. I got taken out because that player dipped out, rotated round, and was able to get high ground on me whilst I was just kind of holding my position. That wouldn't have been possible. And like you can see Sam do the exact same thing to them. And he's like kind of pulled up, rotated, and pulled a different flank. There is going to be so many big brain 200 IQ moves pulled off that we've not seen in years. The map is going to give you those options, and I think you'll kind of be quite happy about that. And I won't lie to you, at this stage, when I kind of go up here, I can still distinctively remember Blacky, who's the team that we're fighting here, was sat in front of me, and I realized that I was getting held by a sniper rifle. So I stared at his screen, waited for him to unscope before I ran away. So yeah, I kind of cheated a little bit, but hey, all is fair at a LAN. But now I want to get onto a few secrets about this map that have been uncovered thanks to Modern Warfare Zombies. One of the big elements is bunkers. Bunkers are returning with this version of Warzone. Now, I think one of the most exciting moments when I look back to Verdansk in 2020 was the opening of the bunkers. You can let me know if you agree or disagree with this, but I still remember when stuff was happening on the map on a more regular basis, everyone just completely freaked out. I remember when the key cards started dropping and we could access those bunkers, which then gave us a lot of loot and gave us a lot of variety to our gameplay sessions, which I genuinely feel has been missed with Al Mazrah and Caldera. There wasn't enough going on with the map during the seasons to make it really exciting. And I think they touched on it a little bit with Ashika, but I would personally love to see more things just be like, we're doing this. So like with Ashika, and you might remember this, but on St. Paddy's Day, they had that one-shot sniper, right? Where everyone knew where it was. There was a rainbow. You could go there. You could get a sniper that was a one-shot kill if you hit someone anywhere in their body. And like, I would love for them to do that. And I think those bunkers are another way to add that kind of different experience when you go into Battle Royale, because it's quite nice when you got that RNG and you're like, oh my God, we've got a bunker key. Let's head to the bunker. There's like, I think 12 bunkers have been found around the map, which is actually weirdly the same as there was in the Verdansk days. And then you get rewarded for that map knowledge about knowing where secret bunkers are and how you can approach it, and that does feel like we're getting this once again. The next thing, as we're kind of moving into this section, as I know this fight, because you know how I talked about getting held? Made a mistake, kind of dipped down. I could have almost escaped. And like you see, there's loads of different navigations, but got taken out, and we're going to the brand new Gulag. The Gulag has kind of gone back to a traditional 3-lane system, and there are now random events in the Gulag. So we don't normally have those 2v2 or the random Juggernaut, which don't know what they're thinking when Warzone 2 came out. But we now have these random events where you could get like a nighttime map, so which is what I just got here. You could also get one where money just spawns everywhere, so it could be like a huge regain opportunity. But there's also like an ascender in the middle of that, so rather than having a flag to capture, at any point you can get to the ascender, take that up, and automatically win the Gulag. So it's a different approach. I kind of quite like it, because there could be that risk where you kind of sit back and they have to kind of move into your line of sight. So if you like set them, you can almost bait them to take that zip line. And the water Oh my goodness, this is something we have to talk about. Water combat has been hugely improved. So in the build, there are still bugs. I couldn't loot the cash crate because it landed upside down. But you can see like the visibility of the water is so much better. And also, whenever you're in water, you get given a pistol. So it does not matter if you do not have a pistol in your loadout. You will always have the ability to be able to fight in water or on a ladder, which for me is a great thing, because the amount of times that, because I just didn't have a pistol because I didn't take one on my loadout, I'm just in the water. I'm like, well, I'm dead now. It didn't matter whether it was on Vonda, whether it was on Al Mazrah, whatever it was. It was just one of the most frustrating elements of playing those maps. And with this, water is really clear, so you've got visibility. So it's very difficult to kind of just like bait the water all the time and kind of like pop up in different locations. Someone jumps into water, you'll be able to see them a lot more clearly. Though there was a few times in different parts of the map, I think it's around Pop-Off Power, where I fought against J-God. It was a sewer system and the water was murky and really difficult to see your opponent. So there's still going to be elements of the map where you can have strategic advantages to be able to like kind of escape and get away. And that's just going to be something that you're going to have to learn over time, which is once again, one of the best things about this map. There are so many routes, and I've spent a lot of time just wandering around in Modern Warfare Zombies already, learning jump ups, learning flanks, learning kind of like secret elements. Buy stations are also, there are more than ever. So big thing they focused on, because there were so many frustrations when you're playing Al Mazrah and there just was not enough buy stations. I think that was an issue with Verdansk as well at times, and being able to get your teammates back, it just became a point of we need to stack flares so we can always make sure that we're getting our team back. And then the final circle then became like a battle of attrition. You're always going to have buy stations dotted throughout the map and being able to rotate a lot better. This is a great example as well. You know, when I talked about the way that you can navigate around the map is as we're pushing for the loadout in the kind of like the final couple circles, even though this is quite an open area, there are so many options to engage or disengage fights, in the sense of there's like rock placement, cover, cars, vehicles. You can always pull off different flanks and routes and kind of use it to gain an advantage. Like right here, rotating around the outside of the circle. You've also got the river running through, and you might notice there's actually a current with the river. So if you just stood like still in that water, the current is going to pull you along. You're not just going to sit there floating perfectly like this. That current is going to take you along. I think this is a great example as well to kind of show a final circle. As we talk final circles, it's going to be incredibly important because the Champions Quest is of course returning with a new Warzone in December, though we won't get it till around the mid-season update, but we learned a ton of it thanks to Ted kind of talking us through it. First of all, brand new experience. Second, if you spot someone in the top right hand corner of your map where it says someone has started a Champions Quest, if you're the person to eliminate that squad, you can then pick up that Champions Quest and do it for yourself. So there is going to be a reason to hunt them down and stop them from arming the nuke, because I think there was a little bit where someone started a Champions Quest in your lobby and you're like, oh, you can't really kill them. It kind of feels bad trying to stop them from completing the quest, because obviously they've spent 2.5 hours winning 5 games in a row so they can start the nuke. Now I'm gonna hunt every single one of them down because I'm gonna want to try and do the nuke myself. And also it means that you will have an opportunity to kind of experience that Champions Quest end circle, even if you're not someone that can traditionally win 5 games in a row, because you could potentially rob someone else's. So a lot more people are gonna have that experience. In my opinion, one of the best in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. But like I said, when you look at this map, the way that like the transitions between rooftops and the way that players are able to kind of like fight these end circles, it's amazing. And the traversal, the placement of like kind of the air vents on all the sides, there's lots of ways to push people that are holding top of the buildings. Even though here, I'm just trying not to engage, last person standing, and I'm just there like, oh, can I get it first? Kind of a little bit of a stupid like thing for me to fire there, but I'd already cleared out with my back, and then Bradders, of all people, pops up, shoots me, but doesn't go for the thirst because there's a whole nother team there. So he's quite smart here. He disengages. I'm able to get my self-res off. Counter UAV pops up. But this is also really worth pointing out is usually when the counter UAV popped up, it was impossible to see the direction of the circle. And a lot of top tier players would save their counter UAV to pop it in these final circles so that then people had no idea which way they needed to go with the zone ball. That's no longer the case. You can still clearly see the direction that the circle is pulling, just maybe not how close that kind of circle is to closing in on you. So it's still an advantage to doing it. But in my gas mask, pulling off the rotation here, just trying my very best. And I wish I popped my battle rage a little bit sooner because I would have been able to come out here and survive against Bradders, who takes me out. But Urzikstan, in my opinion, best battle royale map we're ever going to have or have had so far. And Verdansk, all right, it's coming back. Same with Rebirth Island and Fortune's Keep. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.